every brand is different. Now, this is something that I also recommend to my students. Once you find a brand that you like, stick with one.
You're listening to the Time Lash Artist Podcast. If you want to jumpstart your lash career, you can also watch Cosme's free lash training at www.fulltimelashartist.com. Let's grow.
Because every brand is different. Maybe my C curl is a little bit more flat than this brand, right? So if you use two type of brands, at the end of the sets are not going to look neat, are not going to look even, right? So you can test as many brands as you want, but always find the one that you like, especially when you work with volume. Very different than the classic. Classic, you pick one lash, correct? Volume, you're gonna pick from 2 up to God knows how many. 20 plus, 30 plus, right? Now, you have to make sure that when you pick the lashes, they spread easily. So that means it's an amazing brand. And we're gonna test a lot of fans today, so you can see the difference, how you make 2 fans and how you make 20 fans with one technique. Now, the difference between volumes is huge. You can see a light volume, you can see a full volume, you can see a mega volume. Now, the thickness that we're gonna work for light volume, that doesn't mean it's the same thickness that you work for mega volume, right? Now, the more you go on the fan, keep this in mind, it's very easy to understand and remember. The more you go on the volume, the less you have to choose the thickness. The less you go on the volume, the more thickness you can add. That makes sense? So if I pick 2 lashes and I'm going to create a fan of 2, I'm going to go with a thicker thickness because you will never going to be able to pick 2 lashes with, let's say, 0.03 for a mega volume because they are very tiny. You barely gonna see them, right? Now, I'm going to do something on the whiteboard. I'm not sure how. I'm going to fix this so you can see. Let me finish with this and then we're gonna go to the whiteboard. Now, 0.015 is made only for classic. Then you go down on the thickness, which will be 0.10. You can take notes now if you want. 0.10 is made for fan of 2, fan of 3, double classic, and a triple classic. We're gonna talk about wispy classic today and double classic. I know probably that's something like, what is wispy classic? What is double classic? Because classic is only 1 lash per lash, right? Now the next thickness will be 0.07. With that, you can use light volume. You can make fan from 3 up to 6 fans in 1 natural lash. Now, if you want to go more on the volume and create a full volume, full lash line, you can choose 0.05 and from there you can create 5 up to 10 fans. That clear? I can repeat that. So 0.10 is made for 2 to 3 lashes. Double classic, triple classic. 0.07 is made for light volume, where you can do 3 up to 5 fans. And 0.05 full volume, 5 to 10 fans. Now, when we talk about fans, we also like to call them 2D, 3D. Keep in mind that the D is not the curl. It's just the word of a fan. So 2D, fan of 2. 3D, fan of 3. 15D, 15 fans. That makes sense? Okay. And the last thickness, which is the thinnest thickness that you can use, and this is made only for mega volume, it's 0.03. Here you can use between 10 up to 20 plus fans. Now, question. Have you guys followed my business page? None of you? Okay. If you follow my page, you're going to see everything that I create and everything that I customize is very natural. Even if it's a full set, this is a client of mine. Even if it's a full set, it's still very natural, right? And this is up to 20 fans in one lash. But you're not going to see those dramatic lashes that they go above your eyebrows. Why? We have clients, and I do personally, I have clients that they ask, can I have a mega volume, the very dark look? So first of all, let's do a pre-consultation. That's extremely important before you start any sets. Have a pre-consultation, check your client's natural lashes, check what type of eyes they have, and the most important, what are the natural lashes? How thick, how thin the natural lashes are. Based on that, I can customize something that will be healthy for your natural lashes. I will never do something that you like or I like. I do everything based on your natural lashes. If the natural lashes allows me to do a mega volume, then I'll be happy to do a mega volume. That takes me an hour and a half. Very quick, because I can customize a fan of 20 and it's going to cover 5 of the natural lashes, right? If you create a light volume, you have to go at least 90% coverage. Why? Because it's only fan of 2. Imagine fan of 2 and fan of 10. How big the volume is going to be. And we can talk about this, what type of people will benefit on light volume, what type of people will benefit on a mega volume, because not everybody can benefit the light volume. If you have lashes that they are very gappy, you're losing a lot of lashes, your lash line is very sparse, right? Then you will never create a light volume because you're not gonna see anything. You're gonna see a fan here, a fan here, a fan here. It looks like you need a refill. So in that case, we need to customize a mega volume. Questions. So I'm going to repeat this again. The more you go on the volume, the less you have to choose the thickness. Makes sense? The less volume you do, the more thickness you can add. And you can check this based on your client's natural lashes. If you have a client that the natural lashes are very thin, obviously you're not gonna use the 0.10 because it's thick. Even if you see them and feel them thinner, they are thick. You better use 0.7 or 0.5. Everything that you customize is based on the natural lashes. Now, there is also special effects that you can create. This is ombre, dark brown. That's the keys that you have in your kit too. It's my new collection. Beautiful. You can create anything from double classic, which you guys are going to be very comfortable to create double classic because you already know how to do classic. So double classic, you're gonna pick 2 lashes. Wispy classic, we're gonna talk about that. Wispy classic, you're gonna work with a lot of lengths. 1 up, 1 down, 1 up, 1 down, just to give that type of wisp look. Now, here is a full volume, and you can also see my mapping. We're gonna talk about map today too. Full volume using very short lengths. Now, working with different type of lengths, same. You have to check your client's natural lashes and also the shape of the eyes. If I'm going to give you 2 examples. I'm not gonna go too deep into this because you probably learned this from the classic. Different type of shape. You may see people that they have open eye, a lot of space between the lash line and the eyebrows. And you're going to see a lot of people that they have very hooded eyes, like I do, right? If I don't have lashes, you won't be able to see my lid, correct? So for those type of people specific, and you can take notes if you want, because it's very important. If as soon as you see your client in front of you and you see that they have very hooded or very drippy eye, you will never go long on the lens, like 13, 14, 15. Why? Because the lid is very deep inside and the lashes are going to go all above the eyebrows because there is no much space to play on the lid. Makes sense? People that they have space here and I can play, I usually calculate this like this. I put 2 or 3 fingers. If I have enough space, right, an open space here, I can go up to 13, 12, 13 because you're not going to damage their natural lashes. What is your name? Nia. So if you guys take a look at Nia's eyes, see how opening how much the lids, how much space we have. She has beautiful eyes. Can you see what I'm talking about? You see how much space she has between the lash line and the eyebrow? So that's the perfect line that you can easily go up to 12, 13, because you're not gonna see a much difference. If you have a client like me with deep eyes and very hooded, you will never go more than 10 millimeters. If you take a look at my lashes right now, you may see, 12, 13 millimeters. The longest length that I have right now is 9. Why? Because my eyes are hooded. So if I go 8, 9, it's already touching my eyebrows. Can you see the difference? Do you understand why? But as soon as, so those are the main important things when you do a pre-consultation and you have a client in front of you, right? Shape of the eyes, shape of the face, and the space between the lash line and the lid. If I have a lot of space, then I'll play with a lot of length. If I have a little space, then I'm going to stay short on the lashes. Now, volume is different than classic. And this is something that I also go very deep into this. The shorter you stay on the fan, on the length, the longer the retention is gonna stay. Why? So here is your natural lash, correct? Here is your natural lash. Here is my extension, same as the natural lash. If my natural lash is 10 millimeters, I'm gonna come with my extension 10 millimeters too. When they start growing, they both growing the same. When it's time to shed, they both shed in the same time. But if you have a client with 10 millimeters and you come already 13, I have 3 millimeter space, correct? Think about something. That 13 millimeters in 1 week, it's going to be 14. In 2 weeks, it's going to be 15. And by the time it's going to reach the top of the natural lash, it's going to fall down. And it's going to damage the natural lash. Why? Because it's pulling the natural lash from the follicle. So I'm going to repeat this again. The shorter you stay on the length, and we talk about volume, the shorter you stay on the length, the longer the retention is going to be, okay? And also, the shorter you stay, the fuller the lash line will look. And that's something that I'm going to create on the board. Now, another special effect that you can create is with different type of curls. I'm a big fan of C-curl. All my lashes, the whole brand is made with C-curl. You will never see on my Instagram, because Instagram is the platform that I post a lot, you will never see a D, a DD. That's not something that I work with. It's very curly. It closes your eyes, it closes your lids.
If you got a passion for lashes, let me see it. It's time to level up. If you need me to, I'll teach you my 6-figure secret. Better believe it, cause I believe in you. You're listening to the Full-Time Lash Artist Podcast. If you want to jumpstart your lash career, you can also watch Cosme's free lash training at www.fulltimelashartist.com. Let's grow.